So let's start with the prayer.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So, good morning, everyone, and happy to be back for one more session of Dharma Kshetra. Now, we have happily completed half of the Gita. We are done with 9 chapters. Today, we will start with the 10th chapter, which is a very, very, very beautiful chapter. It is called the Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti. Can someone say what is this Vibhuti? What is the meaning of Vibhuti? What is Vibhuti? No idea. Come on. See. Vibhuti means the glory. Vibhuti means the glory. Okay. So when we put Vibhuti on the forehead also, it means we are declaring that God is glorious and beautiful. So Vibhuti means glory, as opposed to yoga. God is also yoga. Yoga Maya means the glory of God is not yet manifest. It is inherent. So yoga is always something which is not manifest, but Vibhuti is that which is manifest. So the Vibhuti yoga is all about the glorious manifestation of the Lord. Okay. So how do we start this? So there are 3 ways of looking at the world, behaving or conducting ourselves in the world. That is what the Mahatma says. One is we look at the world as at a very basic or initial levels. We look at the world as heya. Heya means something to be discarded, something to be rejected. Heya. We have these kind of expressions in Kannada called imanavam, moole mamsada tadike, this body is something, it's to be discarded. It's nothing but a bag of bones. Don't give too much importance to the body. And the world is all it's all distress. It is all dukkha. Give it up. So these are the values that we associate with the world. It is full, samsara is full of dukkha and all that. That is heya. So discard. Don't give too much importance to the world and, give importance to God. That is one approach. Another approach is this world is divya. It's beautiful. It's glorious. That's the next approach. Or another level of approach. This is beautiful, divya, lovely world. And the third one, it is what you would call the more superior one, the Advaitins would call the more superior one is, the world is jnaya, to be known, to be understood. So I don't know what stage we are in now. At least in this chapter, we are in this Vibhuti Yoga, which talks about the wonders of the beauties of the glories of God. Divya. God is divya. Therefore, the world is divya. The world is a manifestation of God and therefore it is beautiful. So this is what we are going to discuss. This is what Krishna is going to tell Arjuna in this chapter. So far, Arjuna has got all the gyan. And now he says, I want to know the wonders of the God. Okay. That is the vibhuti of the Vibhuti yoga. This word yoga is used in so many ways in the Bhagavad Gita. Every chapter is a yoga. Okay, it is something to be understood. Every chapter is the knowledge. So yoga has got many connotations. Anyway, so what happens in Vibhuti yoga is, in this chapter, is everything about the world and everything about myself also is Ishwarized. We have been hearing, God has been telling, I'm everything, there is nothing apart from me. Everything he has been telling. But in this specific chapter, one by one, he goes on saying, this is me, that is me. He points to everything. This chair is me, this table is me, this fan is me. I mean, it makes it so personal and it makes it so immediate. Whatever I think of is God. Just get that, let that feeling sink in. Everything, the worst thing you can think of in the universe is also God. Now, how to reconcile with these viparita bhavanas, it's easy to think of the beautiful things as God, which is what's happening in the Vibhuti Yoga. God talks about only the Shrestha tamas, the most beautiful things among. For example, after the 14th verse, God talks about each and everything, like among the birds, I'm Garuda, things like that. The best among things, he says, this is me. Why? Why should we do that? Why do we invoke God in the beautiful things and not in the, in things we don't like? Why not? Anyone, please?
In previous chapters, the God himself has told that, see me in everything.
Mm.
That's the reason we have to see wherever, in everyday life also, if we, the paper, if we stamp something, we just do namaskaram.
Correct, correct.
That's the reason we have to, see God everywhere.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. What I'm saying is, we have certain iconic images of God which we worship. No, Ganesha or Saraswati, Lakshmi. So we make it beautiful and then we worship. We will not keep an idol which is not, which is kind of ugly, isn't it? So we always see the beauty and then we worship the beauty. That's what I'm trying to say. We don't worship ugly things. Alva, Shweta, we don't put some
Correct.
garbage in the puja room and we worship because it's God. We don't do it.
Correct.
Why not? Why not?
According to my understanding, I can say that, as we also, do makeup and everything, and we want to
Ah,
look good, the
yeah,
same way we want God also to look good.
correct.
That's how, we feel, and our mind also, like, if it is a very pleasant thing, our
Ah,
mind calms down very
that's
easily. If there is a dirt or something, our mind gets blocked.
correct, correct. Very correct.
That's how.
Correct. So it's easier to see God in beautiful things, like you just beautifully put it. It's easier and it's pleasant. It makes me happy. So it's, to begin with, we should just go with that. You look at the glories of God in the highest values, the most attractive beings, beautiful things. In that you will see God. So it's easy to love a lovable person rather than a sinner. Let's be very frank about that, isn't it? That's why. And then we can progress to seeing the oneness underneath all the everything of creation, all of creation. Isha vasamidam sarvam. So in this chapter, there are some 60 vibhutis, 60 glories, 60 or more that Krishna specifies. But of course, the vibhutis of the Lord are infinite. So that's the PTK. And then the first first 7 verses is kind of introduction to all this. And Bhagwan himself also talks about his glories. This is also very strange. I had told you this story earlier. But since some new people are here, I would like to repeat it. So there was this great sage called Samartha Ramdas. He's based in Pune. once he was going through his a village. See, all these sages and masters, they travel. They used to travel in earlier times with their shishyas, go from village to village, spread the message, and that's what how they used to spread the word. Not big because they didn't have technology like we do now. So this great sage was going with his shishyas, and he was passing through a village. So in village, a man was beating his little boy black and blue. Maybe some 8 or 9 year old boy. He was beating black and blue, that boy. So the sage, he stopped and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you hitting this the poor little boy? What did he do?" And so the man said, he fell at the feet of the master and said, "This boy, you know what he did? He's saying Lord Krishna is very egoistic. He's got a lot of ahaṁkara. Lord Krishna has a lot of ahaṁkara. Why? Because see, in the Vibhuti Yoga, he goes on saying, I am this, I am that, I am this. Who will say? Saying I means ahaṁkara only. No, you have only taught me, isn't it?" So that's what the boy said. And so the father was very angry. He was scared where Krishna will curse him. He's calling God as ahankari. So he got very worried and he started thrashing the little boy. And so this master said, no, 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 please don't hit the boy. You send him with me. Let him be with me for a while. And then I will send him back to you. Send him to the Gurukula. So the man happily sent his little boy to the Gurukula. And this fellow stayed with the master. And he was a very good student. He was Ajnakari. He did all the work that a master told him. And then he became a strapping young man, strong, with nice muscles, youth, good looking and very wise young boy. And then again, in one of those yatras, when they were going, they were passing through a tough terrain, hilly terrain, and the large boulder was had fallen in the road, blocking the road, the path. So the entourage couldn't move. And so the master asked the young fellow, please move that boulder, none of us can do it. So the fellow said, yes, yes, I can move it. And then he kind of shifted the boulder away from the path and cleared it. And then the master called him and asked, were you able to move that boulder easily? The boy said, yes, yes, I was able to move it. How come you moved it so easily? Because I'm strong, I'm young and I'm strong, and you are all, more, you're all older, you couldn't do it. So I could do it easily. So the master asked him, did you make this statement with ahankara, or did you state a fact that you are strong and that you could do it easily? Was it ahankara or was it a fact? Then the boy said, no, 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 it's a fact. It is not ahankara. I am not boasting about myself. I'm just stating a fact that I'm strong and therefore I could move. Then the master says that's the association with Vibhuti Yoga. Here the Bhagavan is not boasting. He is just merely stating a fact. So that's why the God is speaking about himself. It might seem like it is boasting, but it is not. Why? Because he says in one of the earlier shlokas, there is nobody else who knows my wonders. I am the first. I came first. Only after me, everyone has come. So how will they know me? So I'm the one who has to say. That is why God is speaking about himself. Nobody who came after him can know the full-blown effect of this whole manifestation. That's the idea. So he himself says in the shlokas, because I was there and I created the four sages, who are the first four sages, Sanat, Sanatana, whatever those four guys are there. And they immediately took samsara and went, sannyasa and went. And then I created the Manus. And then I created the Saptarushis. The Saptarushis, of course, we can still see them in the sky. And the Saptarushis were Gruhasthas, fortunately. And then from them came the entire, the clan, the humanity has come from them. That is why even now our Gotras we trace back to the Saptarushis. All of us have roots with one of the Saptarushis and the other Rishis also. So that's why God is speaking about himself. Nobody else can talk about him. All right, so we will go to
Can you share the recording from last class?
Right?
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay, now we will go to the first verse. First selected verse. Okay. All right, let us. This is the 8, verse number 8. Here again, Krishna is talking to Arjuna and he is saying, ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ. Yes. Who wants to chant?
ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavah mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Very beautiful, Chandra. Welcome back. Okay, next.
ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Very lovely. Male?
ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Lovely.
ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I can go next.
Yes.
Ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Hello, good morning.
ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Very nice.
ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Okay.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Very good.
ahaṁ sarvasya prabhavo mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate iti matvā bhajante mam budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Shaila, ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ?
हरि ओम मैडम.
Hari Om.
अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वा प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावसमन्विताः.
Beautiful. Shweta, will you have a shot at it now? Whatever.
Of course.
Aham sarvasya prabhavah
Aham sarvasya prabhavah
mattaḥ sarvam pravartate
mattaḥ sarvam pravartate
iti matvā bhajante mam
iti matvā bhajante mam
budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ.
Done. So all good. Aham sarvasya prabhavah. I am the origin of all creation. Mattaḥ sarvam pravartate. Everything proceeds from me. Iti matvā, knowing this, bhajante mam, those who worship me with faith and devotion, budhā bhāva-samanvitāḥ. They are in my bhava only. The wise who know this perfectly worship me with great faith and devotion. Simple verse. So any thoughts on this? People want to expand on this, please do that. Before we used to do so much of exchange of thoughts. Simple, no? How is the God of all of creation? How do we understand this, that God is all of creation? If you want to explain to a child that God is the origin of creation, not a child, okay. If you want to explain to, basically to another person, another adult, that God is the origin of all creation, how will you do it? Now that we have, yeah.
I can go ahead.
Yes. Suma.
So basically, it's very easy to understand things that you see around. For example, if you're working at a company, you tell you compare God is like CEO. CEO is that first person who starts, and then you have all the rest of them who come under them, the CTOs, then the VPs, directors, like that. So the person who started a company, you can think him like God. So the creation was started by the first person who is God. So that's how I would put it to my kids. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for kids, probably this is fine.
Yeah.
But it depends a lot on faith. No, they have to believe you. Why should I believe you? If they ask, believe you, isn't it? You're telling me a good story. They might say that.
See, it's also another way, for example, I have seen my grandma, but I've not seen her mom. Her mom would have existed like that, same thing.
By inference.
Yes. So again, the generation back of them would have existed. So if you go back and back generation, you can go to the root of that. Yeah.
Correct, Suma. Yeah, that is how one has to. That is why in this faith-based religions, the faith is most important,
Yes.
All the religions are based on faith. My God is the highest. I am the greatest. Everyone says that, whether it's Islam or Christianity or whatever. So the followers of the religions, they have to have a lot of faith and bhakti and fear also. I'm sure it's all driven by fear as well. So that is fine. But here, we can go one step. Anybody else wants to add to it? How would you explain, that God is the origin of all creation? How would you go about explaining that? Or convincing yourself in the first place? I think we have a lot of faith, so we are, that is, of course, the starting point. But then, yes, Nirmala, you're so quiet. Tell us. How is God the origin of all creation? Since we have all...
For a change, let others also speak.
They are not. That's why I'm asking.
It is like Veda Vakya. It is like Veda Vakya. I believe that he created. I know he created it. So it is in me. I don't need an explanation for it, but I don't know how to explain to others. I know he created it. That's it.
Okay. For your...
Ella jagattu sundara avane madiradu. Who created it? Somebody had to create it. This beautiful word. It is Ishvara who has created it.
Okay, Jayashree. Done. But like I said, how will you tell it to the other person? Yes, Padmaja.
So what we can do is we can let's say he has not created Anta. Now because we cannot prove she is telling, Jayashree is saying Veda Vakya, we'll go with the negation. No, he has not created. We only did it. Humans did it, or someone else did it. Anta. Let's go with that logic.
Big Bang Theory.
So we go with that logic. We have done it, or someone else has done it, but it's not God who has done it. And then, how much you can do, what you can do. How are the things happening? Let's say we want to do something. We have a plan for the day. Okay, this is what I want to do. Does our plan really work the way we think? In between, so many changes are there. It goes with lot of changes. Now, plan ಮಾಡೋದು ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Because ultimately it is he who is doing it through us. So that way I say it is he who has, it's all, there is a power that is there. That if you give a form and a name is different. But something is there, the supreme power that runs all of this. That much I can say.
Okay.
So one more thing is that dream world, right?
Mm.
When we have the dream, we are the creator of the dream.
Ah,
So like that, we are creating our own dreams, our own things, objects, whatever we want in the dreams.
yes.
Same like that, the creation is created by the Bhagwan.
Dream of God. That's the line of thinking that one can adopt, which is easily believable also. I mean, because it's in my own experience.
Yes.
Because I'm dreaming and I have out of nothing, everything has been created in my dream from me. So yes, that's a good one. What, Nirmala?
I think as a newborn child, you don't know anything. For you, everything is that mother. Everything is that mother who's taking care of all of your needs. And she takes care of you so beautifully without a single want. I think God is something like that. Who is there protecting you, saving you, taking care of you, every bit of your life.
Like a mother.
Like a mother. There is no comparison. The highest, the most unconditional love, and I don't believe in fearing God. I don't believe in saying, please fear God. No. Love Him.
That's what, until I know who that person is, how can I love him? I know mother, I can love mother. Aita.
It's just the mother of the universe. Finish.
Mother of the universe. Kalas. All right. So yes, all the points are very, very valid. There is no doubt about it.
Ma, we can say like this, Ma, Ivaga.
Hedu.
See, we can tell, you want to tell somebody how you believe God, alva?
So, how did God create? God is saying everything came from me. So how to explain that?
Yeah. See, for example, we are breathing now. Breeze or whatever it is. We don't know from where it is coming. So through that, atara helbod nav hinge. Nodu adu experience madine gottagodu. We can experience God. So we cannot show them. Then we can tell them that a moment alli helbodu. See, you're breathing now. From where the breeze is coming. So like that, we can explain it.
It's all physics, no? It's all, the manifest world can be explained very beautifully with science. Gali hogta ide, gali barta ide. You can explain the mechanics of how breathing happens, how it is going into the lungs and all that. No, correct, ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು correct, but as a skeptic, ನಾನು ಪೂರ್ವ ಪಕ್ಷಿ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? So the scientific world can always be explained, isn't it? Through science. The manifest world can be. It is available for explanation. It's available for experimentation. Alva. But beyond that, yenide anta, we have to explain. No?
So, Purnimaji, so just one example here, right?
Yeah.
So for example, the process of reproduction is just one small example, right? So people think science can do a lot. People, of course, kids happen normal ways. Kids that, people who have to go through a different process to have children, they go through IVF, where science is so beautiful that, they can make a lot happen outside the body before you put a embryo back in your womb, right? Just simple example.
Yeah.
But once the embryo goes in the womb, that's where science ceases. Right? That's where science ceases, and then something else has to take over then. Okay? Yes. Because for that embryo to go in and attach in a uterus, a woman's uterus, that is still science. Science can help you till that attachment piece, right? But after that, the first heartbeat, that embryo to get that heartbeat, Purnimaji, that is not science. That's where I think science ceases and something bigger than science comes to light. So I think that's how I would That's how I would like to think about it or explain.
Yeah, fine. All
At the
valid.
end of the day,
At
it
the
becomes mother, right? It's all like what Nirmalaji said. It's part of mother. You love your mother. The same love a mother gives the child. If you can bring that love and love this higher being in that way, I think that's the easiest way. Is what I would say. I would say it's the easiest way, but it's also a very difficult way. So that's my 2 cents.
Very nice. Very nice, Shweta.
See, Prabhuji says, no, the father gives 1 portion. The mother gives 2 portion, 1 portion. One portion they give. But what happens to all the rest portions? That is Sakshat Bhagavan.
That's the mystical and miraculous experience that all of us have experienced.
As Sweta said, it's all that. It's a wonder. I'm just telling you, you can eat food. Then how do you digest it?
Yeah.
So many like this. There is, liters and liters and liters of blood being cleaned and sent back and, to and fro. How?
Yep.
It is
not artificial intelligence. It is very much God intelligence. Yeah.
The cow is a great animal, they say. It seems it gives fertilizers, natural fertilizers. Cow dung is such a powerful natural fertilizer.
Yeah.
That, so beautiful. One thing I want to tell you, there used to be I think I have told you, I don't know, there used to be a big bird called dodo.
Dodo.
There are birds, yeah.
And the dodo used to move with the humans very affectionately and all. It was a very loving bird. But man started killing and eating him, eating the bird. And it became extinct. With the dodo, with its excreta, one plant is to grow. When dodo became extinct, that plant also became extinct. Your people tree and your banyan tree, have you seen those seeds? They are so small.
Tiny, yeah.
By themselves, if you plant them, it will not grow. It has to come with cow shit. Cow, crow shit.
Crow shit. It has to be ingested by the bird. Yeah.
By a bird, and then with that, vitamin, it has to grow.
Wonderful.
So there is so many linkage going on here. We don't know all the answers. We don't know. There are so million questions are there.
No, there is only one answer, God.
God. Super.
Right. Yeah, correct. Yes, Nirmala. So yes, once you start, yes, Padmaja.
Did you ever listen to this Dr. Devi Shetty, Narayana Hospital, cardiologist? When he talks, he says, I am, kind of world famous cardiologist. People come to me. He has seen so many cases, but he himself says, I cannot explain God, but I have experienced it. How?
Yes.
I've seen it, cases where I've said hopeless case, agodilla, he cannot live anta. But then that guy survives. And there are some simple surgeries. I'm very sure nothing will happen anta. But why and then nothing, I don't know, but that is gone.
Yeah.
So this is all experience that I have seen. Ki God is there anta.
That is the key word, Padmaja. You brought it. God is not a thing or a person. God is an experience.
Experience, correct. That's it.
God is an experience. That's the final bottom line. The world is an experience.
Padmaja, can you share that?
Sure. I'll send it. That interview link, I'll send it.
Yeah. The world itself is an experience, and it has no independent existence at all. Apart from me, the world has no independent existence. There it is. Like Suma also brought in that. When I go to sleep, there is no world. The world, the existence of the world depends on me. Me in the sense what? The world is, it is vritti. The world is all about thoughts. It's a thought. The world is a thought. Like how a dream is a thought. I'm not aware of it when I'm dreaming, Ashte, but it's a thought. Even now, as I'm waking, I'm dreaming only. It is called a waking dream. The Mahatmas call it a waking dream. And it's all nothing but thoughts. The thoughts have become forms. That's what it is said. And where do these thoughts appear? Where do the thoughts appear? Don't say mind. It is fine. Mind is the instrument through which it appears. Thought
in my
appears
consciousness. In my consciousness.
It appears in the field of consciousness. The thoughts are appearing in the field of consciousness, like how a movie is projected on a screen. You know, that field of consciousness is the substratum on which everything is played out. What have you is being played out? The most beautiful and the most horrible, the horrific, they're all played out on the screen of consciousness. That is how the awareness principle is the God principle. That awareness that I have, that is God. Without that awareness, when I'm dead to the world, where is the world? Nothing, it's not there. That awareness, when it's reflected in me when I wake up, that is when I experience the world. That is when everything comes into, it just appears on the screen. That is why you say the essence of the world is consciousness / God. Only awareness can say, I am everything. It's only awareness that can say, because of me, everything appears. So basically, it is complete. It has gone back to the highest teaching, Advaita. When God says, I'm everything, it means awareness is everything. And who is awareness? Me, you, me. Everyone is awareness alone. That feeling of I am that I have is God. It is so simple, but we will not accept it. It's very difficult to explain that. It's very difficult for people to accept that. Arey Bapre, how can I be God? You are. Because in you, everything, you are experiencing everything in your awareness. That means you are God. So how can I be, then why am I sinner? Because you don't identify with that awareness. No. Because you identified with the limited body and mind, I am so and so. Because you identified with the CV, you don't experience, you don't understand that, it is all God. Otherwise, each and every fellow on earth, at the basic level of awareness, everyone is God only, and that God is one. It is not a different God in one person, a different God in the 108 billion people and the 84 lakh yonis, species that we have in the universe. Everything is just that one awareness in which everything is being played out. So from that point of view, mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate. Everything comes from min. Ashte. Simple. It's very easy when you go back to the basics. Mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate. Me, from me. Forget even God. From me, from Padmaja, from Nirmala. Only from me everything comes. What is there? If I don't have that consciousness, where will I experience the world? Nothing. Zilch. And another beautiful thing is, there is no creator, there is no separate creator, and there is no created. The world is not separate from God. The dream is not separate from the dreamer. Karya, Karana, both same. Karana is the nimitta, the one who is responsible for the creation. And the Karya, the world which has come out of it. There is no difference between the Karya and the Karana. That's what in Vibhuti Yoga God is saying. I am the world. There is no difference between me and the world. I am abhinna nimitta upadana karana. You know these terms, no? Nimitta karana, upadana karana. Nimitta is the intelligent cause behind the universe. Upadana is the material cause of the universe. And here in Advaita, we understand that there is no difference between the nimitta and the upadana karana. The nimitta is God, the upadana is God. The creator is God, the creation is also God. That is the beauty of this teaching.
nimitta upadana karana, you have to explain a little more, Purnima. That is, the potter needs the clay to make it into a pot.
Yes.
But the creator just wishes and creates the
Sankalpa matrena.
Sankalpa matrena, he creates the world. There is no material with which he takes and makes. Just like how a spider takes the web, spins the web from its own body. And spins the web. Like that, the God spins his world with the help of Maya.
And another example giving in Mundaka is just as how herbs and plants grow from the earth, by itself they grow. That is how world is manifested from God. And one more thing, how our own hair and nails grow from the human sentient body, an ancient thing can come out. That is also 3 examples are given in Mundaka. One is spider from the web, spider spinning a web, and then shrubs and plants and all growing from earth, and how our nails and hair grow from the sentient body. Those are the examples how God created the world has come. But then it's all, basically it's about, because I'm aware, I experience the world. From me, everything, from the dream, from the dream has come. Ashte. So, mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate. And then what?
In the dream, there is
prabhavo.
In the dream, there is a tiger, there is a lion. I am afraid. I fall into water. All that is happening. The water is me. The tiger is me. The lion is me. The elephant is me. Everything is me only.
Everything is me.
No entirely new creation there.
No creation. Correct. So the most horrific things that we see in the world, the wars, the destruction, the cruelty, all that is me. That is very scary to reconcile to. So in verses 10.4 to 10.5, Bhagavan gives a list of things, all the dualities, the opposites also come from me, he says. For example, he says, he just lists, I'll just quickly read it. Buddhi, Gnanam. Of course, we can accept that Buddhi has come from God. Yes, tick. Gnanam has come from God. Yes, tick. Asammohaha. Asammohaha is, the clarity of thought has come from me. Yes, tick. Kshama, forgiveness, the good quality has come from God. Tick. And then Satyam has come, truthfulness has come. Damaha, Shamaha, control over the senses and the mind has come from me. Yes, I agree. Sukham has come from God. Yes, agree. Then comes the duality. Dukkham has also come from me. Mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate. Everything has come from me. In that list, he says, Dukkham has also come from me. Okay. Bhavaha, bhavaha. Bhavo, bhavo. Joy and sorrow has come from me. Bhavo, bhavo means birth and death has come from me. Birth and death has come from me. Then, bhaya, abhaya, both have come from me. Hinsa, ahimsa, both have come from me. Samata has come from me. Yeah. Tushtihi has equanimity, but the duality, all the negative portion of all the good things, that has come from me. Now, how do you reconcile that? Anyone? How do you reconcile the negative also coming from God? Let us say that. Yeah.
Sorry, finish your sentence. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's it. I want to know our understanding of it. How can you reconcile the most horrible things happening on earth has come from God? Apart from the fact that, it is in my awareness, it is playing out, of course. But then how do you reconcile to it? Because the transactional reality is very, very, very real. How much ever I tell myself it's a dream, when I'm going through a headache, a stomach ache, a death in the family or some horrible tragedy, how do I reconcile that?
The way the way I like to think about it is, because there's goodness, because I know what good is, That's why I know it's bad, right? So if I only knew war, and if I did not know peace, then I would think that's the normal thing and I would adapt. The beautiful part about the human consciousness is our adapt. I think one beautiful thing, one of the beautiful things that he put in us is the adaptability piece, right?
Very perfect.
See, no matter hot, cold, super hot, spring, we know how to adapt to the weather. We adapt to everything. So
Yeah.
that's what I think he created us. So we know there is peace. That's why we know war is bad, because we don't want to do it. Again, at the beginning of the class, we said cleanliness is what we want to be around. When we pray to God, everything has to be clean and everything, right? Because cleanliness is next to godliness. But we say that because we know what dirty is.
All right.
So that's how I reconcile it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Very nice, Shweta. Any more thoughts? Yes, Padmaja.
I look at it this way, like good and bad, it is all in our mind. Obviously, yes, we have termed like this is good thing, this is bad thing. In my opinion, there's nothing called good and bad. It's all that we think and, it comes from our mind. But everything that happens for a particular reason. Even the bad or the worst that happens, it may also at that particular moment, it may sound or look bad. But later we'll see, that was like a nonsense, but then you would have learned something from out of it. Or maybe God has some other plans, if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have been like this, something on those lines. If I look at it, I think everything comes from God. It is He who runs it. And then, we have to do whatever we are doing currently, have to be done with that consciousness and awareness. It's about it.
Very nice. Okay. Yes, Padmaja. Well said. Any other thoughts?
I would like to tell one of the stories you mentioned in this ants have anklets. Because over a period of time, I'm listening to that, and I got, in that one story you told, the sorrows are also from me only. Then there is a short story you said. Krishna goes to a rich man also, where he's been treated very well, and and Krishna blesses him, like with very good things, like he'll become very richer. And the minute he goes to a poor man, and that poor man will have one cow which will be a sick. So that poor man, whatever he had, he treated Krishna with that, and he sent him. And Krishna came out. The minute he walked out of that house, that cow died. Overall, this Narada was watching all this, scene, whatever was happening.
Yeah.
Then Narada questioned Krishna, telling that, dear Krishna, I am not understanding what exactly you are, doing. Your Leela, I am not able to understand. The rich is becoming rich and the poor is becoming, Papa, he had only one cow and it also died. Then Krishna's answer was, see, now the happiness on his face. That's how, I understood the sorrow also comes from him, the happiness also comes from him. With that story, I ended.
Very nice.
Thanks
for reminding me of that story. Really, thank you so much. Because the cow was a burden on the poor fellow.
Yeah,
because he was not able to even to care for the cow, and it was sick cow. It was not giving any produce also.
Correct.
So the cow also died. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it answered my questions, that whatever happens, it's all because of Bhagwan only.
And ultimately for good.
Yeah, ultimate for a good reason.
Okay. Yes, Padmaja, you wanted to say something?
Another story what Nirmala had also told earlier, the king and the minister, Akbar and the Birbal, they go for hunting over there, and then
correct.
Also.
Yeah. No, you continue briefly. You tell off, because I don't know how many people know that.
So Birbal always has this thing, whatever happens for good. Whatever happens for good and all. So I think something happens to Akbar, right? I don't remember. So he says
he hurts his hand. He hurts his thumb. The king hurts his thumb, and so Birbal says it's good only, and so Akbar gets very angry and he imprisons him.
he imprisons him, and because he said it is good, how did cutting off my thumb will become good for you? You go into the jail. This guy goes into the jail, and he goes on a hunting over there. He was caught by some tribals, and they want to offer him to the goddess for Bali. And then they look at his thumb and say, no, he's not fit for Bali, so we'll just leave him. He comes back and says, Birbal, he releases Birbal and says, I'm so sorry. I said, whatever you said is right. It's good for me it happened. Otherwise, I would have been, no longer there, got killed. Correct. Then he says, but how did it happen? It's good that I imprisoned you. So says, if you wouldn't have imprisoned me, the next person they would have taken me, I would have gone. So everything happens. At that point of time, yes, they would have felt it's not good. But yes, that's how it works. That's how it works. So nice. So all the bad things, yes, now both the stories brought out how that ultimately it's for the good. But the immediate things, that the sorrow I feel and the bad emotions that I feel, or something immediately, some horrible things which I cannot reconcile to myself happens to me. How to reconcile that as, how is that God? For example, all the horrible atrocities that we have been seeing and still going on between Israel and Hamas. That day I actually asked Guruji, it was so disturbing that day, all the visuals, despite myself, all those visuals came and, it was so disturbing. So I asked Prabhuji how to reconcile that, all these atrocities happening, children being, terrible things happening. So he said, you don't know their karmic footprints. Please remember that, all of us need to remember this. When we see some horrible things happening, you don't know the karmic footprints of all the stakeholders here. So just leave it and pray for Lokahita. That's what he said, Prabhuji said. So anything bad that happens, remember that it is God in the form of karma phaladata. Simple. You might not even convince yourself that I cannot convince myself that this war that is happening is for the good. I cannot, with my limited brain or whatever, limited resources, I cannot. But what I can tell myself is, it is karma phala of all the stakeholders in the entire world. The cosmic karma is also there. We all have two types of karmas. One is individual karma and one is the kala karma. We are born in such a time and space in this world where all this is affecting everyone. So this is God in the form of karma phaladata. That's also God only. Some karma, someone's bad karma will hit me because I'm part of society. None of us are independent. We are not islands. We are not isolated beings. What the other fellow does will affect me in many ways. And that is my karma, that I had to be born in such a time period of time. So all the bad things, so-called bad things that I think is also God as karma. Ashte. That is the bottom line. In Padmaja. Nothing. One more is, have you all heard about Louis Hay?
Yes, but this psychosomatic thing, no?
Louis Hay.
Yeah.
At the age of 60, she had got cancer and all that. You are aware of it. So if you see that, she also has written a lot of books. Another time, people who have not read it, maybe they should read.
Heal body, heal mind kind of thing.
Correct. So at 60, I think her husband, wanted to divorce her and get remarried, and it was a shock for her. And she said that life has kind of stopped for her. She never expected that at the age of 60. And then, thinking that, this shouldn't have happened and all that, I think she got cancer. And which is, people said, doctors said, gave up that ultimatum, within 6 months, she will die. It has spread across and that. And I think then she started reading and she started doing things and all that. Slowly, with her own thoughts and, healing power, she corrected herself. And then she got into yoga and all at that. And she lived up to 80 plus, I think. And she became a motivational speaker and all. So I think for her, she thinks that, if that thing wouldn't have happened. Husband is there like that only, and it would have gone life smoother. But she wouldn't have, seen this part of life where,
it's how we take it, correct? How we convert that misfortune into a positive thing. Yes.
ನಮ್ಮ
So
ಕೆಲವು ದಿನದಿಂದ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ
ಏನಮ್ಮ?
ಇವಾಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಮ್ ತಮ್ಮ ತಂಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ, ನನಗ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ? ಸೊ ನಾವ್ ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನೊಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೊರ್ಗಿ ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ನಾನು, ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕರ್ಮ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನೋ, ಯಾರ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನೋ, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಕೂಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಸರಿ ಭಗವಂತ ಅನ್ಭವಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ನೀನ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಡು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಹೌದು, ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್.
ಸೊ ಹಂಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ್ದು ನನ್ಗದು ಕಷ್ಟನೇ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ. ಸರಿ ಭಗವಂತ ನಾವ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಕ್ ಅನ್ಭವಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದ್ ದಿವ್ಸ ಒಳ್ಳೇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Very beautiful. See, that's the bottom line. Yeah. Whatever I'm experiencing now is my karma phala. Okay. Someone is being very rude to me. Sometime I must have been rude to that person in some other lifetime. Ashte. That is why I am experiencing that. So number one, I accept that it is some karma phala, and when everything has come from God, this also has come from me. And Eckhart Tolle has got a very beautiful, he makes a beautiful statement. He says, any situation, treat it as if you have asked for it. So beautiful. Any situation, I have asked for it. That is why it is here in front of me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in that situation. So when such is the case, when I am the creator, we said that mattaḥ sarvaṁ pravartate, from me everything has come. If that has come in front of me, because I have created it. I don't know when, but it has been created by me. I am the sole person to be blamed. So with that knowledge, when I approach life, like Chandra said, it is much more easier to go through it, whether you like it or not, but it becomes a little easier to go through the ups and downs of life. That's all. So, halalladaru haku, neeralladaru haku, Raghavendra. Whatever you do, you want to do with me, you do. I am your servant. Okay. So, two levels we can accept. Everything has come from me. That is one level. Number two, everything has come from God. So, He has brought me to this situation, He will take care of it. The more we become simple in our heads, the simpler life will be. That's the message for the day. I think we can stop today here. So, more in the next class.
How many shlokas we did, Purnima?
Atmaja, you know me so well. You know us so well. So, I mean, are we really dwelling too much on one shloka, or is it fine?
It's good. For me, though, it is excellent.
Yeah.
It is excellent.
This is really good.
It's very good.
Okay. Because these are little things which really bother me. That's why I dwell so much on that.
It's amazing. This is something we will never get anywhere.
Abba.
Just discussing all this, nobody else is interested except we bozos on a Saturday early morning.
Saturday early morning, very good breakfast.
So when Purnima said third also we will cover, ante agalla amma third.
Illa next shlokas alla, it's on the same line, so I guess we can go fast. See, that most important thing has to be defined. How does everything come from God, anta? That was bothering me. That's why, all this happened. Okay, good.
Close it.
Okay. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrutyormam amrutangamaya. Om shanti shanti shanti. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Harihi Om.
15 मिनट लगेगा इसलिए
Namaha Sharihi Om.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, madam. Hari Om.
Thank you.
All.